So over the course of my using credit cards, I've accumulated a lot of points. Now, this is a big discussion that people have about credit card points and what to do with them, and that you get free stuff from collecting points on credit cards. While it's true, it is, yeah, you do get a lot of free stuff. I've been able to go on most of the flights that I've taken since starting to use credit cards and collecting points. I've paid for with points, so effectively I haven't paid for them. Well, I've paid for them in other ways. We'll get to that in a second here, but the way that the credit cards reward you for using the cards and spending bonuses and miles and cashback and all that kind of stuff, you'd look at it and say, well, why wouldn't you do all that stuff? Why wouldn't you use credit cards? Because you basically get all this free stuff from using credit cards, and it's kind of what you get. I myself looked at it that way, and I saw credit cards as a great way to get stuff for free. And I did. I got a lot of stuff for free. I took a lot of trips using points. I got a lot of cash back for 4 years. I tracked all the cash back that I got, and I think I got something like $2,300 in cash back. That's not including. I didn't include like miles and the trips and the hotels that I was able to stay at using points. But you can get a lot of stuff from it, for sure. I'm not here to tell you that you shouldn't use credit cards. I'm not here to tell you that you should rack up all the points that you want. I am here to tell you what I'm going to do with my points. So I have a lot of points, as you can see here. There are I have Hilton Honors points. Those I can only use to stay at hotels. I have a small number of points on a Barclay credit card. I can't do anything with those yet because they're below a threshold. I think they have to be 2,500 to redeem them. I have the Wyndham Rewards points. Remember, I got that card and then I got my points. So great. Now I can stay at a Wyndham hotel for 2 nights. If it's tier 2 or tier 4 or lower, I think. One of the shitty hotels. I got some rewards here, not enough to do anything with on my US bank card, but I still have it. I just went and redeemed this 300 miles for $3 cash into my checking account. Hooray. I use my Amazon rewards points almost every time I buy something on Amazon. It's just churn and burn. It's like ends up being $1 or $2. These points, I've used a whole bunch of them to do that pay yourself back thing for groceries and restaurants. These are the only ones that I could use at this very particular moment right now. And then these are United miles, so I have quite a bit of United miles as well. And I've used a lot of these things. Like I used to have, I think, 3 or 4 times as many miles there, but went on a lot of trips. I had more of these as well. I used some of that. These, I had a lot more of that too. I used a whole bunch to stay at hotels. But here, guys, the point is, boo, I'm big now. But you're not going to get rich using points. You're going to save a little bit of money. Like if you want to book a hotel or something using points, you can do that. But also you could just save up the money for 2 or 3 months and use cash to buy the same hotel. Okay, it's like it doesn't really make that much of a difference at the end of the day. Like I was looking at flights to go somewhere, I don't remember where, I think it was to the East Coast. And the amount of points that it would take to go there was about equivalent to the amount of money that would be the value of those points. And yeah, they say that, there might be like a 1.25 or 1.5 value multiplier if you're using points to buy things, but it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, when you have a system that you've set up in which, like in my case, I can put aside at least $600. That's what I'm doing automatically already every month. If I wanted to allocate that to buying a plane ticket in 2 months, as long as I have like a little bit of advance notice, or even not, now that I am building an opportunity fund, right? That stuff is kind of moot. It's like I don't really need the points to do those things. They're nice to have, of course. So if you're gonna spend money on stuff, might as well use a credit card and rack them up. At least that's my view, but you don't have to do that. It's not like, it's not the end of the world if you don't. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. On a higher, like, philosophical note, everything is already more expensive because we've adopted credit cards, and we use credit cards to buy pretty much everything. See, nothing is free. You get a lot of stuff from credit cards. You get a lot of free stuff. Free, but the free comes from you and from everybody else paying for it. It's not really free stuff. When you go and pay at the grocery store with a credit card, for example, the credit card company charges the merchant a transaction fee. There are some companies charge as high as 3 or 4 or 5%, and that's a lot. And that's why a lot of places don't accept Amex, for example, or they have started not to. But I think now they've lowered their rates or whatever, but they still get charged a fee. So that's why you see when you go to stores, like, they'll have minimums for using credit cards. See, I would do it a little bit differently. If I was a business, I would just add on a surcharge for using a credit card. Like, the prices are what they are, but at checkout, if you're using a credit card, there's a little button that says, like, add 2%, right? Most cashback cards are 1%, 1.5%, or whatever. There's different ones that rotate categories. You can get up to 10% on some ones, but for the most part, that's what you're getting. So if I was a store owner, in order to incentivize people to just pay with cash so that I wouldn't have to pay that stupid transaction fee, right? I mean, cut out the middleman there, then I would just put on a transaction fee for, a surcharge for using a credit card. That's what I would do, but that's not what they do. That's not what stores do. They just raise the price for everybody. So because credit cards have become, let's say that the credit card on average charges the merchant 2% for every transaction that they make. So that just means the merchant raises the prices of everything by 2%. So now if you go and try and pay with cash, then you're still paying 2% more. So that's what we've done to ourselves unwittingly and unknowingly. We've just made everything more expensive. So you're paying for it anyway. You're paying for all the free stuff that you get. Over the course of your lifetime, the extra 2% that you're paying for everything, literally everything, is what makes up your free hotel and your free flights. So, I mean, the argument is kind of moot. It's like, well, it's not going to work if only one person stops using credit cards, like exits that system. And even if everybody stops using credit cards, it's not like the stores are going to be like, I guess we're going to lower our prices 2%. No, I mean, the damage is already done. And it's not going to go down. The stores are just going to make more money. And that's great. Good for them. But at this point, we're so ingrained in the credit card culture that it's like, might as well, right? That's kind of the attitude. Since you're already going to be paying for it, like, you will be paying for all the free stuff that you're getting. And even if you're not using the free stuff, you're paying for it anyway. Even if you're somebody that never, ever, ever uses a credit card, only uses debit or cash, you're paying for somebody else's free stuff because you're paying increased prices. Not directly, but indirectly you're doing it. So, yeah. What I'm going to do with my points here, I've got the only really the points that I have access to that I can do anything with productive are these ones right here, the ultimate rewards points. So I'm going to use those. I'm going to convert that into cash back. And I logged in earlier and I saw that Chase has extended their pay yourself back thing for credit cards. I logged in earlier and I saw that Chase has expanded the time frame for the pay yourself back for restaurants, grocery stores, and some other things. So I'm gonna convert that stuff into cashback at a rate of 1.5%. So it's gonna be pretty cool, I guess. Um, this, like, all these points have been sitting here for like 4 or 5 years now. And if you have some cash sitting somewhere for 4 or 5 years, like, the value of that cash is going down every year because of inflation. The same thing with these points. I could have used these for something, and I would have had like 100,000 points here is $1,000. If I use the pay yourself back thing in Chase, then it's $1,500. That money that I use from this means that there's less money coming out of my system, like the dollars that I make today, for example, and that can go to other things and be used more effectively. So yeah, I'm going to use these points. It's kind of a departure from the way that I used to think about these. Like, I was saving these for something that I was gonna do, like go on a flight or a hotel or whatever. The next time I would book a whatever, I would use these points. But then I thought, well, I could just pay with cash, like save up a month or use the opportunity fund and pay for it that way. So there's really no sense in keeping these around. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's it for this mindset video, guys. Hope you enjoy. And I'm coming out, well, I'll tell you guys later about it. It's going to be pretty cool. Bye-bye.